Okay then, so we're going to have a look at demonstration game of Tabletopia using the Great Fire of London game. So Kate's here, hopefully.
Hello.
Yeah, okay, I think we can hear you.
Great.
Let's have a look at this this game then. So in front of us, we've just about to launch the ourselves into the game. Gone into the game, Great Fire of London, which should hopefully be available in the library soon. And there's me and Kate. We're going to do this as a new two-player game, which the expansion is out now to bolt onto the existing game, which was playable only for 3 to 6 players. So this is the additional bit that allows 2 people to play the game. So I'm going to hit the start, and hopefully Kate's going to get some sort of confirmation.
Yep, big green button says ready, so
Yep,
press
there
that.
we go.
Ready.
So now it's
Yay.
launching into Tabletopia.
Having a think about it.
Yeah, it takes a few moments just to.
And it wasn't difficult to sign up or log into this either,
No,
which is also good.
There we go. Right, so we're in the thing. I'm loaded up. It sometimes takes the non-host a few moments later for their game to load up, because it sort of downloads a game file, which is about 10 or 13 megabytes or something, and then has to populate the environment.
It's having a think. It's nearly there. I like that it's got your it's got the branding and things of the game, so you can nice and easily see what it is that you're playing.
Yes, yeah. Now the background image here you can add into these games, because the artwork on the cover of Great Fire is really quite nice. So I decided I'd use that. So you kind of almost like you're playing the game sort of in the middle of the city on fire is the idea. But the background is quite a nice idea. Okay, so we're both in it at the moment. So what you want to do is, first of all, you want to make this full screen so that you'll be bringing things down into your hand, which is at the bottom. So top right is a 4-way cross thing. Can you see that?
Got it.
So if you click on that, it'll make you're in full screen mode, and then that means when you if you hover over your objective cards, which are your green cards there, if you click on them, it should glow like that.
Yes.
And then you can pick the whole deck up, and if you bring it down to the bottom of the screen, you should get a line, and it pops it into your hand.
Yes.
Now I can see my objectives, but I can't see yours, and you can't see mine. Well, you could if you're on the Twitch channel, but that'd be cheating. And then I'll do the same with my fire direction cards there. Yeah. And then you can individually select any of these and be able to play them onto the game. So if you click the whole deck, it'll glow, or you can pull them in individually like that. Is fine as well.
Got it. Yes.
Okay. And then when you've got a card on the table, you can select it, and the F button flips it over like that. If when you want to move cards and things, we're going to need to do that with the expansion cards for this two-player expansion, which is we are going to be adding in over here, but we'll talk about that in a moment, because you've not actually played the game as a two-player game before.
No, I haven't. I played the big game. It's really good. So
Okay.
2 players.
So
cool.
we'll do it. So you can start the game. So what you first need to do is to get our pieces onto the board. So in front of you, you've got 3 firefighters, which are the black discs. Now in the physical game, these are black cones, as are the fire pieces, which are these red things here. But because of the interaction of 3D objects and things in Tabletopia is a little bit tricky, so it's easier to use just flat objects when you're dropping things on top of other objects. So we've replaced the cones for this game with these little red cylinders, or the firefighters, these little black cylinders here. Yeah. So what you need to do is place these on the board. So if you're going to go first, you'll place one of them, and then I'll place one, and carry on like that. And the rules are, it can't be placed into the green area. You see the green area with the back thing? So it can be the area with the blue background, the orange background, or the purple background. And generally, you're keeping a bit of an eye on what your objectives are, maybe, with the placement of these. And then place it. Now the trick is, as you're placing them on the table, is to make sure you're hovering over a flat pitch of the board like that, rather than hovering over a house. And you can see a little shadow below the object, so that tells you where it's going to land. So you just sort of try and make sure, because if you drop it on, these are 2 3-dimensional objects, so if you drop it onto a house, it'll fall over like it would do if it was a real piece of wood on another real piece of wood. Okay, I'll put that there. So you put your second piece down.
Cool.
Okay, put on over there.
Why do I think you've got the Tower of London?
Well, I can either confirm or deny the rumour. Right, I'll have one there as well. And now you've got 2 meeples, which are these guys. These are your landowners, as it were. In normal game, you only have 1. But because we're playing with two players, this allows us to cover more of the board. So we're actually controlling 2 colours of houses, and at the end of the game, we'll get the scores for both houses added together. So you've got both of these houses. You can move either or both on any given turn. So I'm gonna you put one of yours on the board.
Yep. So I'm going to stick my little dude down here.
Yep, and I'm going to pop one there, and it can be in the same location as the firefighters or even other landowner guys. Okay, so that's.
How do I get the overhead view on Tabletopia?
I think you can scroll. You can, if you use the right mouse button.
Yep.
You can rotate the table various ways, either overhead or angled or zoom, and then you can zoom in and out using the mouse
or the scroll,
and then the mouse wheel and things. Depends on are you on a Mac or a PC?
I'm on a Mac using a trackpad, but it works just as well.
Good to know it works. And then so that's it. Also, the WASD keys on a PC work. The sort of ones you'd use for a first-person shooter.
Yes.
Up, down, left, right type stuff. Now there is on the left-hand side a help summary, little question mark.
Yes, that's right.
And if you click on that, it gives you an overview of the standard functions that you can use in any Tabletopia game.
Awesome.
And that's that. I'll come back out of that and
cool.
Let me just check something here. Okay, and it's also currently got the little page symbol is the rules, the 2-player rules actually. The full rules for the game will also be in there. Once we release it. At the moment, we have to import it in a certain way, and the file sizes are a bit big at the moment, so I'm working on that. But at the present moment, but the 2-player expansion rules are in there, which obviously help people who don't know the differences with the new things in the 2-player game. Okay, so we're set up and ready to go, and you're going to go then. So you start by playing one of those win cards out your hand.
So I will zoom out a little bit on the table, and
so I'm purple and blue. You are yellow and green. So you want to make sure, by random setup, there's quite a few yellows immediately around things. Now, if you pick up the card and hover it over the discard pile, you should get to a bit where it goes orange. If you hover so your hand is over the middle of the discard pile,
got it.
That's it.
Perfect.
It then clunks into place, and that'll just do that going forward now. So you want to go west, which is along the green arrows on the board.
Yep. So I'm going to be kind, and I'm going to go west there, and we're going to take out this little white house, which is not a player, and put him down
there.
Here.
And now you've got your four action points.
And then I'm going to move one of the firefighters.
Either of your meeples can move, and any of the firefighters, of course, can move.
So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I'll have my little chap go 3, and then.
So you're hovering that over the top. So what I tend to find is if you get over the top of it, you see you get a little shadow.
Yes, okay.
Once you get that, you drop it. Oh, hello, didn't do it, Tom.
And it stacks.
It should stack. Oh, we've got these not lined up properly. Let's have a look.
That's right. Here we go. I'm a horrible thug with this.
You are, aren't you? But I'm the same problem here.
Okay.
Just trying to check.
We'll work on that. It could be because it's not flat. Push it over.
Yeah. Let's do that one for a minute. I'll swap
Yeah.
those 2 round for the purpose of this demonstration, and we'll have a look
Perfect.
at that object. Might be something funny with that one. Now it's on its side like that. I find you can flip it like this to go back straight and things. Don't know quite why it decided it didn't want to play ball. It's all right on that one. That was weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so you contain that one, but you're on your side there. Now you can try the F key to flip it, or if that doesn't work,
Yay.
now you're on your head, but that's fine. Let's go with
okay.
that. That's fine. Or you can right click, and you get like a rotate option, which allows you to rotate objects and things. And you when they fall over, sometimes you have to sort of fiddle around with it a little bit to sort of get it to stand up and things. Actually, quite often I don't remind the guys being on their heads. Okay,
no,
so
it's kind of cool.
So that's your you've done your move.
That's my green dude.
That's your green dude on his head. So now you're going to draw a new card. Now, if you hover over the card deck and go right click, you should get a draw 1 option.
Oh yes, that one.
Oh no! You've just flipped.
That was flipped.
That was flipped. Let's just. I'm just going to take that deck off a minute. Hang on.
No, that's fine.
Let me just sort it out. So what you did there was to flip it. I'm just going to put it back over. And, like that. Right, if you just take the top one by right click, and then you should get a draw 1 option, is it?
Draw 1, yes.
That's it. I'll take 1 into your hand.
Oh, lovely. Yep, very cool.
Okay. Just going to drop that back over there. That's it, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your turn done. Now we do what's called the non-player turn. And there's a summary on this blue card for this, but I'll take you through it. So we're going to flip over the top card. So what I'm going to just do is you'd actually run the turn. It's the person who's just done a turn runs the turn, as it were. So you take the top card. So don't draw 1. Just grab 1 from the top.
Do I flip it over?
And just drop it on the table. And in fact, if you drop it into the discard pile,
let's do that.
It'll flip itself naturally over. So that's a north card. So that means that's telling us that the fire is going to move north, but we don't know yet where. Yeah. So now if you come over here to these brown cards, and take the top one, and just and take it over to the side next to it. I normally put it on the table about there, and then flip that. Okay, so it's telling us it wants to go north and destroy a white house if possible. Now there is only one move north, which would be a white house, so that's nice and easy.
So this chap here?
Yep, and so you just then pop that house onto the thing. So that's the non-player fire move. Now, if there's a choice, we'll come to that next turn. But there's a priority sequence as to how they move. There wasn't a choice there, so that was nice and easy. Now, if you come over here to this green deck and just take the top card and flip it over.
There it is.
There we go.
Yep.
So that is the temple. So this now is the firefighters move on the non-player turn, and because in the normal fire game, of course, the firefighters are moving around another player's direction, usually in a way that's inconvenient to you. We wanted something in the game that would simulate that. So what's going to happen here is that the firefighters that are closest to the temple, the 2 closest that are not fighting fire, so it'll be this guy and this guy, and if you need to, you count spaces, but basically that's these 2. They're going to move now. They're going to move in the direction of the current wind card, the fire movement card, which is a north direction, and they're going to move into spaces which first of all would put them on top of the most fire cones. But there aren't any north moves that would do that, or into a place with the most houses in. So the guy here in the Libertina St Martins has a choice of going north, either into St Botolph's, because you can go across that 4-way arrow, or into Barber's Hall, or into Alder's Gate. But Alder's Gate has got 2 houses in.
So it
goes into there. That's the priority. Okay, and then the guy that's in. Can't see it in that place there. Has a choice of going north into Libertina St Martins or Guildhall. Well, Guildhall has got 4 houses in, so it'll go into Guildhall. So they basically move to either fight the fire, or if they can't immediately fight the fire, then into a position that would would help protect the most houses. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that's
And
that.
for clarity, whereabouts is the Guildhall?
Guildhall is sorry, it was this space here.
It was this Guildhall here.
Yeah.
So because they're closest to that, those are the sets that move rather than these chaps.
So it was the north. So these are the closest. No, it was the closest to the temple. So it was the
That
card
was
we
it,
turned
sorry.
over to the temple. These two were the closest to the temple. They both do the move northwards according to those priority rules that we just discussed. So that's the end of the non-player turn. Now it's my go.
Perfect.
So I am going to go. Going to go east here. And let's go to there. I think it's about time that took a malevolent turn to things. There we go. And now I am. Where am I now? I'm just checking my colours here. I'm purple and blue.
Are you not purple? You don't want to do that
I don't
one.
want to do that one. Oh well.
No, you don't want to do that.
We'll do
Take it back.
We'll do the orange instead. There we go. That was a bit silly. There we go. All right, and do orange. There we are. Okay, so then I've got purple guy here. I've got blue guy here. Yep. So I'm going to move into start thinking about the sorting out the fire here. So I'm going to go 1, 2. Yep. 3 and then 4. But I don't have enough points this turn to. Whoops. I don't have enough points this turn to put that out. But that's there we go. And then now I take a card, right click and draw one.
Draw one.
So that's popped into my hand. Now it's non-player turn, so I take that, top it over. So that is a south move, a south move that would burn a white house if possible. Now there is only two valid south moves, which are the red arrows. Yeah, there is a move down into the purple space here.
Yep.
Or into the green space there. Neither of those are white houses. So there is no valid move that would burn a white house. So then what we do is we carry on down the line and we say, okay, can we burn a blue house? And the answer is no, we can't. So can we burn a purple? Yes, we can.
Yes,
we
can.
So we go in and we do the purple. So that then determines how the fire moves on a non-player turn. Yeah.
Gotcha.
If there's a tie, then you look for the most houses, and finally it's player choice if there's a tie and you can't break it any other way. Right, so then we do the non-player turn train band movement, the firefighter movement. So that's St Bart's Hospital. So St Bart's is up here. So we've got this guy here, and I think probably this guy here, the two closest. They've got to move south. They've got to move south in a way that would immediately jump onto fire if they can, but there are no options. So they would then say the most houses. So Guildhall is most likely. This one's got to go south, and it could only go south into Liberty and St Martin's. Yeah. That's the only valid south move, I believe. No, yeah, that's right. That's the only valid south
because there's
move.
no corner at this point. Yeah.
Alrighty,
Okay.
so that's me done.
Yes.
So that's the non-player turn done, as it were. So now it's your go.
Okay, so I am going to do the fire card, and put that into the discard. Oh, there we go. So it's going to move west. And this time I'm going to get your blue dude. And that goes over there. And then I'm going to move my chaps 4. So that's 1. Haha, got it balanced. And then 2, 3. And I would like to put that fire out, please.
Okay.
That's
so
4.
Just take that and put it in front of you.
So grab that one. Awesome.
Okay.
So now I need to move the fire.
Now you you moved the fire, didn't you?
Yep. Move the fire.
And you've done your move, so now you take the card. Now you'll find when it's the last card in a particular stack of cards that you can't do the draw one. I think you just have to grab it and drag it. So
okay.
So if you take that card into your hand, and then you'll find the reason that's happened is that's the last one before we get to one of these intensify the fire cards. And in Tabletopia, the way these work is if you actually hover over the side of the deck, you get different numbers, 6, 10, 10, whatever. Because actually it's a sandwich of decks. Yeah, so the top deck
Gotcha.
of 5 cards were the first fire cards we went through. We've now revealed the first fire intensify card, and the take one doesn't seem to work for the last card in a deck, as it were.
Okay.
But this is so that one I just discard. But that means
Yep.
you take 3 fire cones from the bag. So if you right click over the bag and you should get a take 3 option.
Take 3.
And
There
now you get to place these on the board where there is
Mm-hmm.
uncontained fire. And after you've done this, the maximum number of fire cones in a space can't be more than the number of house symbols plus 2. So each of these 3 areas has 1 house symbol in. So each of these could go up to an absolute maximum of 3 cones after you've done it. Yeah. So you can put 1 in each, or you could put 2 into one and 1 into another.
So I could put that one into there.
Yep.
And then, let's have a look. Yeah, do that. And then let's worry things a bit over this way. Cool. Okay. So now it's random player turn.
Yes. So you turn over the top fire card. So you just take the top one without drawing it or anything. Just grab it.
Yep.
And drop it into the discard pile. Because it'll automatically, once you've got it, hover over
it
should
there it is.
Should flip.
Yep.
There we are. So this
I'm
is
a bit of a rotten shot, I'm afraid.
So this is going to be another south move.
These are rare. That's odd for that to happen.
It has. It does seem to come up quite a bit. Another south move, and so now you flip over the top of these cards here. Oh, that's the whole deck. So if you press F, just take the top one. So if you click away from it, so it doesn't glow. So when it's glowing like that, that means I'm selected the whole deck. Oh, I think you've done.
Which I've done again.
Done again. Should just be able to take
the top
one.
Right mouse button, and then just flip one, isn't it?
Yeah, you can take one and drop it in there.
Take one or draw one?
Well, if you take one, if you draw one, it'll go into your hand and then you can play it on. Or take one means you just take it and it's on the table like that. Yeah. And now you hover it over, it should clunk into place.
Yes, lovely.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so so if we can, no, that's sort of not. Oh yeah, that's it. If we can, we need to do a south move that would burn yellow. But in fact, there is only one valid south move on this entire board at the moment. Yeah.
Is that down into there?
Which is down into the where the greenhouse is.
Yes.
Yeah. So technically, to work through the card, it would say, okay, any south moves that would burn yellow, no. Any that would burn orange, no. Any would white, blue, and eventually we get to green. But to speed it all up, you can tell immediately that's the only valid move anyway. So there we go.
Yes.
Right. Gotcha. And now you turn over the one of these cards.
And that's the closest
roll exchange,
one.
Yeah.
So roll exchange.
So there is, and it's got to be uncontained. Firefighters that are able to move. So when they're containing fire, they're not able to move. Yeah.
So that one there, he won't. These guys can.
This guy's 2 spaces away. This guy's adjacent. This one is actually 3 away. This one is also 2 away. So first we'll have to do a little bit of a tie break. So the first thing is to move. Let me just try and bring this card up. So I'm looking at expand the fire card, and it's so train band movement. The 2 closest fire bands in the direction of the current fire move, entering the space with A, the most uncontained fire cones, or if tied, the most houses, or if still tied, then it'll be the player's choice. Okay, so this one here is adjacent. It's got to go south.
Got
most houses, it'll go straight into roll exchange. Yeah.
Yep.
That's easy.
Gotcha.
Now you've got a choice though, because you just played your turn, so there are 2. So what you first of all do is to say which one of those is able to move into a space going south that's got uncontained fire, and that one down here.
Yes.
Could do immediately. So it'll jump
so
onto. He'll pop in and immediately jump on top of one of those guys. Yep. So if they can rush to action, as it were, they'll do that. If they can't, then they'll go and see, well, what's the most important thing to protect? The most houses. Okay, so that's now my turn.
Yes, lovely.
Right, so okay then, let's go north into here.
So I know it's a random draw for houses, but there's an awful lot of yellow and green directly around the fire, Richard. I'm just saying.
I know. So well, yes, I did make the game. So within each of these coloured areas of the board, just like with the real game, it's got each of these separate sets of houses. So the 30 houses for the green area effectively are put in a bag and randomly drawn out. And
Yeah.
if you're looking, there were 5 yellow houses, one of which I've just burnt. There's 4 left.
Yes.
So there are the right numbers. It's just by random choices. The purple ones are further north, say. Actually, one's burnt already.
Safely away from the fire. Yep. Check.
And the other 3, the other 4 are somewhat away. So you might get suspicious if you think playing with the designer. The greens are sort of stacked. There's 3 of them over here.
Yes. Yeah.
And we've had one burn already, and one's in Bread Street. So it is randomised, but sometimes you do get, as could happen in a real game, you sometimes get little clusters and things. Right, so that's me movement done. I am blue and purple, so I will grab that one straight away. And I've done that. Wait a minute. Or we'll use him to do something with. So that was 1 to put the fire out.
Yes.
Let's just there we go. Let me think. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Let's rotate him 90 degrees. Let's sort him out again. Then I draw a card, and now the draw business is working again.
Because
while we're working our way through the next little mini stack sort of thing. So now it's non-player turn. So off I go. That's going to go east to burn blue if possible. Well, we have a blue here. We also have a blue in the tower though.
Yes.
So when it comes to breaking ties, it would say, well, okay, where would you burn the most blues? And that's still tied. So, okay, where would you burn the most purples? There aren't any. Where would you burn the most greens? So out of the 2 tied ones, it would clearly be the tower. So, and you take the fire cone from Pudding Lane if possible, or if you've got disconnected fires, then from the space with the most fire cones in. But Pudding Lane is available. So that's sort of rather hammered green there.
Yep.
If I did have the tower, I'd be sort of disappointed with it.
And it takes your blue as well.
And the blue as well.
Takes everything in that square.
Goes. And now what we have to do is to add additional fire cones to equal the number of houses that burn. Well, so the total number is 5. So I go to the bag here, and I've got a take 4 option, which is the maximum number that you'd be adding at any given time. And that's done that. So that's the non-player fire turn. This is the train band. So we're looking at Bread Street and the 2 firefighters that are closest to that. So this guy is 2 spaces away. This one is 2 spaces away. This one is 1, 2, 3 away. So it's going to be these two, and they're going to be moving east in such a way to go into the spaces with the most houses. Well, 5 if possible, but there aren't any. So east for this guy is going to be here, because that's that. But this one's clearly going to jump straight into Guildhall.
Yes.
And that's my turn. So it's back to you.
Okay. So I am going to move the fire, and we're going to go. It's going to go north. And it is going to go area. Lovely. So I want to go north, and can I do that? Well, the fire doesn't move out of here, does it?
Where do you take the? This is your turn, is it? Yeah. So you can take the fire. You can choose the space the fire cone comes from. So it has to be a space that's got more than 1 fire cone or cylinder at the moment. So that could be Pudding Lane, or it could be the space to the left of where there are 3 things. So there's uncontained fire there. So you could choose to take one of those instead of taking it from the infinite supply that's Pudding Lane.
Gotcha.
And sometimes,
so if I put that and go north, that would be this one, because that's the only link.
It's when it comes to moving north, this is all one continuous fire. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I just put that back there just for a second. And what you have to do is you say, out of all the continuous fires, and remember this is all one big fire, are there any north moves that would burn a house? And if you can burn a house, you have to do. So moving into there is an empty space. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it won't move there if there are any valid north moves, and there's lots of valid north moves. There's this yellow house here, this yellow house here, this yellow house here, these
Yep.
greens here. There's that white one up here,
Yep.
and there's also this orange, this yellow one over here. So
Yep.
out of all those, also there's this blue one.
So I take a fire from Pudding Lane and pop it there.
Yep. And then
because essentially it's come through and gone
it's
north.
gone. That's right. So what it is, it's one great blob of fire, and it's the move. The move out of the fire into a new space has to be in that direction. So that's your fire move.
That's my fire move. So I'm going to take my little fire dude in one.
Yeah.
And we're going to put...
Right. All the fire has to be contained in order to be able to put it out. So at the moment, so he couldn't actually do that one there. Right. You could obviously move for firefighters in to try and contain it, but they're a bit of a distance away at the moment.
No, absolutely.
Where's your yellow guy at the moment? He's all the way over here as well. So your two guys are a little bit away from the action at the moment. So you might want to potentially have a turn of getting your guys closer to where they can do things.
No, absolutely. So I might do that.
So that's 2, is it?
2.
Yeah.
And then that's got an intersection.
Yep.
So 3.
Yep.
That's got another intersection, which is 4.
So that drops onto there like that. Yep.
Yeah. And that's my guys. So now we're going to...
Now, the only risk you've done with that is that I'm quite close to those two. So it's quite likely that I'll just come in and snaffle up
and do that.
do that thing. But you might have reasons for that. You might want to try and cut the fire off to limit its spread and things.
Yes.
Okay, so that's you done. So you take a card.
Yep. So then there we go. Draw one card. Lovely. So now it's the randoms progression.
Yep. So first thing is the fire. Turn one of those over.
So, have I got the entire deck again? No.
Yeah,
there we go.
So
Lovely.
So I'll just sort these out.
So the fire moves east.
Moving east, yep.
And
so it's got to go east. It's got to go east to try and build a house. We need a house colour.
Yep. So it's looking for purples. Which it can't do immediately. So then it's going to look for greens. Of course it is.
So greens.
It can't get up into that one, can it?
That's a north move, though. We're trying to go east, aren't we? So I'm looking at the board, trying to work out if there are any valid east moves possible right now, and I don't think.
No.
I don't think there aren't an east move viable there. So at this point,
so will it then just move east
go into
space?
Yeah, so let's have a look at that. Expanding the fire. Turn over the card. This gives the direction in which the fire will expand. Turn over the current priority deck. Follow the fire mode priority rules. Move the fire into a space that contains the most houses that match the colour. If there's a type of possible expansion of the fire, either because there is no expansion possible into spaces containing houses matching the colour, or if there is more than one space with the same number of houses of that colour, then there are the tied spaces in the second house in clockwise order, and so forth. If there's still a tie, consider which of the tied spaces contain the most houses matching the third house, and so forth. If there's still a tie, the players conducting the move may select which of the tied locations to expand the fire into, which may include an empty district. Okay, so when expanding the fire, we'll always take a fire cone from Pudding Lane if possible. And so on. Right. So normally you would have to expand into a new area. Yeah. But you can go into the into spaces. These are empty spaces. So so it allows you to do that. Yes. This is a very rare occasion, but it's right down at the bottom of the priority order. But it can happen. Okay. So that's that one. So now you do the.
Take him. No. That one and flip it over.
Yep, I'll just flip the deck. So you're looking at the guild hall.
So Guildhall is back here again. We've got guys in the Guildhall already.
Right.
One step away.
Yes, the ones closest to it that are able to move.
One.
Yeah.
And then if he's in there already, he doesn't count. Is that correct?
It's the ones that close. He would consider to be closest to. So he's the other one.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
he's actually there, but it's still closest to. So he would then move. It's an east move though. So that guy was there.
Yes.
That's it. Okay.
So he's going to move
He's
into
going to move
there.
there, and this one that's in Guildhall is going to move. Now it's the place with the most houses. So I think Moorgate up here has got two houses.
Two. Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay. So that's it's done. Yeah. So that's my turn, I think.
Just wandering away from where the fire is.
Yeah.
I need better orders.
Okie dokie. So colour on green and blue. I'm trying to work out where my chaps are here for later. Purple there and blue there. Okay, right. So,
Yeesh.
Okay. So, well, yeah, that's 1, 2.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
I'm going to move over there. 4. Draw a card. Okay, so now it's the fire move. So we're going to be doing a north move.
Yeah.
To a possible burn green. Well, there's plenty of options with that. Well, actually, there's only one option, north. Yes, because this one here, isn't it? And no, here as well. No, that's east. So Bread Street is only is a west move. It's not a north move. So it will come, and it will come from Pudding Lane because they're connected. Now, and hang on a second.
So what happens then?
We have to do 5 priority rules. So the first thing would be to go into a space that's got an unprotected house. Yeah. So so actually this one is protected. So I'll pop that back there. So the first thing is can I move into a space that's got unprotected ones? There are no green ones where that's possible. But I've still got to, if I can do, to follow the fire priority rules, which would be to move into a place where I can burn a house. So it's going to, and I look at the card, and the next colour along is yellow. Yeah. So it's going to be one of these 3. There are no other north moves that would then go that would burn yellow houses. So, and in this scenario, it's basically player's choice. Yeah. So I'm going to go into here. I'll do that one.
Yep.
Okay. And then we do this bit of the move. That is St Paul's, which I think are these 2 guys here.
Yeah.
And they're going to be doing the move which is northwards. So this chap will go, he has a north move into either here, the more fields, but it has to go, if he can, into houses first, on Finsbury. So I'll go there. Oh, hello. And then it's this chap can go either into the same place or into Houndsditch.
Houndsditch. Yeah.
Okay. Done. And so it's your turn.
Gotcha. Okay. So I'm going to end up with a lot of burnt houses. Let's do that. So I say that the fire goes west, and has that got a crossroads up here?
Let's have a look. Where are you going west? So west, you're going west. So you could go directly into Bread Street, or into, because that is a west move.
Yes.
Or you could go into Woodmonger's Hall, or you could go into Cheapside. Yeah,
but because there are houses in it, you need to burn houses as priority.
Well, you have to go into places with houses in, but you don't have to go into the. This is a player turn, isn't it?
Okay,
this is your turn, so you have the choice. Providing you're burning a house, it doesn't have to be the most houses on a player turn.
No, that's fine.
But if you're happy to do that, then that's
so. Whilst I've killed mine, I've also got a couple of yours.
A couple of mine, so it's a net sum gain for you, something.
Something like that. Okay.
And then you're going to be taking 2 additional houses from the bag. So if you hover over the bag and do right click, you should get a take 2 option.
Take 2.
Yeah, and you can drop those into Bread Street.
And that goes into.
Okay.
There we go.
So that's your fire move. So now you've expanded the fire. Now you're going to fight the fire. So
So I'm trying to get some of these idiots back on the ball. So let's bring them down here. So we're going to do 1, 2, and then 3. That's a crossroads. That's a crossroads. 4.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Fine.
That's
And then you
check.
take a card.
And then we're going to draw 1 card. Lovely. Now,
That's your
flip the
Firefighter.
fire.
Yep. Flip one of them over. That's
So
it.
do that. Nope.
Well, that's okay. You might as well use that one, and I'll put the I'll put the other one back on the top if you like.
So that goes onto there. So that's again going west.
That's going west. Yep.
It's going to go. Oh, I keep doing this. That one.
Yep.
Oh no, I like the other one better. Okay.
Going west to do green.
West, attack some green.
Have we got any greens? Going west. I don't.
So yes,
Yes, we have. We've got here. So there are two greens west. In that scenario, it's player's choice. Now you have to take the fire cone from Pudding Lane because it's connected to fire from Pudding Lane, but it flows up through all that connected space and then into there. And you have the choice of which of those two do you want to go into.
I'm going to hop them in there.
Okay.
Oh, and it takes my little greenhouse away. Oh.
Okay.
Which we'll tidy up in a second because I know that brings nerd rage when you don't have tidy bits on. Okay, and now we're going to move our firefighters.
Yeah, yep.
So that and flip it and done it correctly this time. We're looking at Shoreditch.
Okay, so the firefighters, well, they've got two very close to Shoreditch, all the way over here at the top of the board.
Yep.
They have to move what direction? They're going west.
They're going west.
In such a way as to go onto the most houses if possible.
So that's got a crossover.
That'll go back into Moorgate, yeah.
Down to there.
That's the house you moved rather than the beat, but I'll do that. Yep.
Rotten shot.
And then the Houndsditch guys are going to go. Yeah, you got a choice there because there's 3. Yep, so that's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's my
go. That's yours.
My go then. So, yep, that's right. So let's have a think here. Okay, well, think about it a little bit more carefully. There's a few purples around here. Be a bit careful with. So I'll just do.
Nah, just burn them down. They'll like it. Fine. Got marshmallows.
Get a little campfire song. Right, right. So that's that, and then I'm down here somewhere. So we'll hop on there for 1, 2, and then 3 to take the fire cone, and 4 to jump on that one.
Yeah.
And that at the moment means currently I am Mr. Heroic.
Yes.
I'm the first of 3, but
yep.
That's my turn. So I'll now draw a card, which reveals the next one of these things. So I shall take 3.
Yep.
Let's have a think.
And these 3 you can put anywhere on the board, or do you
anywhere where there is uncontained fire. And then you have to. So I couldn't put it there because that's got contained fire in, and I can't put it here because it's not got anything in. Yeah, so it has to be where there's contained, and the total number afterwards can't be more than house symbols plus 2. So a 3 in the case of most places on the board. There we go. And that's me done. So now it's the non-player turn. We are going west again.
Yep.
To burn orange. So we have an orange here. We have an orange in Cheapside.
Yep.
And we have an orange. No, that's not. It does have a connection. No, it doesn't have a connection. Nothing down here. So it's going to be one of these 2. I think given those options, I prefer to do this one. So I have to take it in Pudding Lane. Now, when the fire moves on a non-player turn, it destroys the house. I'll put that over there. But also, it destroys the a little disc thing.
So you don't get resource.
You get the disc on your turn if you move the fire in on your turn, not on a non-player turn. So that's just basically
Gotcha.
out of the game sort of thing. So shove that down
Mm-hmm.
there. Right then.
Move the
that
firefighters.
was firefighters. So what we got? We've got the tower. Yep. All three of these are currently engaged fighting the fire, so they can't move. This one can't. So we've only got 2 unengaged firefighters, and they're going to be moving west in such a way as to do the most houses. Well, that one's easy. That's Guildhall. Back to the Guildhall. He's running. He's running around a lot this particular time.
Yes.
Bit of a headless chicken, to be honest.
Don't panic.
Okay, and he's going to go there with those 2 houses.
Mm-hmm.
So your turn.
Okay. So I'm going to move the fire, and it's going to go west. Will do as soon as I can get the disc up. I'll tidy it up in a second. So I'm going to go. I'm going to take it from here, and then can I burn into there? So into that one, because that's going west from here.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep. That takes that one.
That's the little blue done. And then I need to move my dudes. So that would be 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
And then I'll remove the fire on 4.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's good. Oh, put that back on the table. Cool. Right. So
now you're taking a card.
Now I need to
no, well, these ones doing
do that.
Need to...
Take one. Yes.
Yeah.
There we go. And then we flip for the fire.
Oh, yeah, flip for the fire, yeah. Yep. Up.
So it's going north.
It's going north.
And it's going to go north in order to, let's check, try for a purple house. So that's into here. From there.
That's the only valid north move that would do purple anyway. But also loads of houses there, so it's likely to be the winner. So takes Guildhall. So
hop that in.
And then you need to add 3 more fire cones from the bag.
Okay. That says take 3. We're just gonna stick them straight into here or anywhere.
They go into Guildhall because this is just whenever a fire goes into a new area, the number of fire cones in it after you've gone into it equals the number of houses that burnt.
Gotcha.
So Guildhall had 4. The tower got 5 at one point because
So now we're going to move our fellas about, and that is Baynard's Castle. Where's that? I should know this.
Castle is here on the river.
Bank, isn't it? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're engaged. So it's only actually this chap here.
Yeah.
And if he moves, so he's going to be moving north. So he's going to have to move into there, isn't he?
He'll go there because that's the most. First, the priority is can they jump immediately into action on the fire? There's another guy over here though, so he can move north.
So he'll move.
He'll go into
house.
That's right. You'll
Perfect.
play a choice then. Okay, so now it's my go. Right. Okay. So that's an empty space there, isn't it? Empty spaces there. Okay, oh dear, St Paul's looking a bit vulnerable at the moment. We've both got one there. Purple here, green and purple. And there's a blue and green here. Each got one here,
Not doing so well.
Yeah, so let's do that. And let me just have a look at where we are here. Sorry, he's going up here and then basically drop into the white one there, the yellow one there.
Oh.
Okay, and now I'm over here, so I can jump over here and grab that for 1, 2.
You are the hero of Londinium.
That'll be a 3.
Yeah.
And 4 to move over there. Preparation for another turn.
Nice.
Take my card. Oh, so move this so I can see that cogwheel a bit better. That's it. Yep. And then we do a non-for-player turn. So we are going north again. We are going north to do a yellow house. So we've got these two immediately adjacent to the pudding lane.
Yep.
We have this one here also. Yeah?
Because it's got a crossover. Yeah.
This is goes across. They're the 4 valid north moves that do yellow. None of them have more than 1 house in, so ultimately it's down to player choice. So I think I'll go down there. So. Okay, and then we move the firefighters, train band. Nearest, well, there's only one that can move. Now, in the event there's only one that can move, it gets to move twice, if possible, in the northern direction. But actually, he can only move once, and he'll move into the place with the most houses, which would be at the artillery grounds.
Yeah.
And he can't then move again, so in that case, he just moves 1. So
Gotcha.
all the other firefighters are busy
Yes.
throwing water at stuff.
Fighting fires rather than doing a tour.
Yep. So it's your go.
Okay. So I think that the fire is going to move north, and I'm going to put it out up to here. It's got to be most houses, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, that's north. Has that got to join in north here?
Yep, it is. Yep, it's got a little blue arrow.
Yeah.
This is your turn, isn't
it? I have to do that one rather than that one.
This is your move, is it?
It is my move, yes.
Yes, it's actually your choice. You can choose. You don't.
Okay.
The most houses applies on the non-player turn.
Lovely. In that case, I'd actually rather go there because that's got the adjoining cross, isn't it? So I'm going to take a purple. And the orange burns. And then I'm going to move this chap. Not he's going to be able to do very much, but do 1, 2, 3, 4 over to here. And now we're going to move random fire.
Yep.
And so it's going to go north again. And it's going to try and burn orange. Okay. So, nothing, there's an orange there. So this can go north and burn orange on that bit, can't it?
Yep.
Here.
Yep.
You take the fire from Pudding Lane. So it goes through and it burns this guy here, and I've knocked another fellow over. Really ham-fisted. Normally pretty good at decks. This is... There we are. Yay. Okay. Let's see where our tourist fire person is going.
Yep.
Not that does much. So they're going to go north, except they can't go north. So does he stay here?
If no viable move is possible, yeah, then he doesn't do anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
So that's all.
Okay.
We're all fine. So that's back to me. Is it? Have you got
Yes.
5 fire cards, by the way?
No, I need to draw one. Good thinking, Batman.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I just noted, from the draw deck.
Yes. Lovely. Done.
Do you take that from the discard pile?
No, I did. I'm just trying to put it back.
I was just looking at the number of cards, so I thought,
yeah,
that's fine.
Gotcha.
That works.
Lovely.
Right. It's now my go. So let's. Don't really want to go that way. Let's go. Okay. I'll go west, but what we'll do. Go there because although I'm not. Oh, hello. Just knock that one over. That one goes as well. I get the little tokeny thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I draw that into my hand. If I do that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going full. Hang on a minute. That's right. Then I can see what it is now in my hand and things, and I could either, if it's relevant, play it now or later in the game and things. Yeah. We'll
Lovely.
keep hold of that one. So that's that done. Then it's my action points. So we'll go with the firefighter over here.
Mm-hmm.
It's 5 now. 2. So that was 1, 2, 3, and then 4.
Yep. Gotcha.
And I then draw a new card.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's the firefighters go.
Yep.
We're going to be going north again.
Yep.
We're going to go north to burn blue. If oh dear.
Whoops.
Okay, and I think that means roll exchange.
Yep.
Because there aren't any other north moves that would. Well, there is one here, but this one has only got 2 houses in. This one has got 4. So what? Actually, no. Let's just check the card. So first of all, burn the most blue houses, and these 2 spaces are tied.
Mm-hmm.
So then, who can burn the most purple houses, and that would be roll exchange.
Gotcha.
Yeah? Actually, had it been blue, had the next one along been green, then we'd have been going into that one. But we're not. Anyway, here we go. Bump. So that means I'm going to sort those out over there. There we go. And now I need to add some more cones to that.
Yes.
Oh dear, I wasn't paying attention to that. I think that might be one of my objectives. There we go. Okie dokie. So that's that one. And then this is going to happen. Oh, let's just tie this deck up a minute. And then I'll just talk about the deck in a minute because we've come to the end.
Yes.
That's
artillery grounds at the top.
artillery grounds. And again, and we can go north. We still can't. Oh, we can go north. There are these 2 down here.
Yes.
So
Yes.
available for action. This one's can only go north into here.
Mm-hmm.
This one could go north. Again, there's only one north move, which is there.
Yep.
Okay, so this is I think we've at some point in proceeding here we've sort of slightly separated the decks out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just putting it back into the deck, and then I'm going to sort of shuffle the cards.
Gotcha.
So that's created as 12 in the deck there.
Mm-hmm.
I flip them over. But then if I right click on one of the options I get is a shuffle, and it basically shuffles the little deck.
Awesome.
But again, you got to get the deck all assembled as one deck for that to work.
Yep.
And that then obviously randomises it, because we'll need a couple more before the end of the game of each, I think. Oh, hello! What did I do there? I think I chose a different action. I think I must have taken a couple there. Did I go there? Well, there we go.
Yeah.
I think I did a draw rather than a shuffle or something like that. There we are. Okay, so that's that done, and I take this card. That was the non-player turn, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Let me just. Yeah, that's right. Let me just put these back. I'm the one mucking the deck up now. There we go.
That's all right.
Rotate 90 degrees, because actually you're next, aren't you? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So off you go.
Okay. So, I'm going to say that the fire is going to move north, and I'm going to have it go north into there. So we'll take the purple dude. No, we're going to take the purple dude, not the entire table.
Is it the white? This one here you moved into?
Yes.
The purple one was in the space to the north of it.
Oh,
purple. Yeah, the white was there.
No, that's fine.
Yep.
There we go. Thank you.
Sometimes can be. It depends on a certain angle. You sort of.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I've adjusted now. Yes, much easier to see. So I'm going to move my thing so we go 1, and then we're going to kill that fire for 2, and they're going to move down 3, and then 4. I'm going to draw a card.
Yep. So
from
you just have to you'll have to pick that one up because it's the last one in the little mini deck, as it were. Just draw it into your hand,
Okay.
which reveals this thing. I'll pop on there. So you get to do another fire intensifiers. That's your last one. Each in a 2-player game, everyone gets 2 of them.
Yeah. Take 3 of them, and we can put these any old where, can't we?
Yep.
So I think that should have. Oh no, I'll do one at a time. Going to put that into there. Put that into there. So that houses is 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's
so I can have up to 6. Is that right?
Yeah, that can go as high as 6. Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll stack another one over there as well. There we go.
Okay. Right. So that was that.
Fire move.
Yep.
So do we need to?
Yeah. So turn the card over. Yeah.
That one, and then flip that card.
All right. So we're going. Oh, hello. You picked up a firefighter there. I think underneath it.
Rats.
There we go. I'll put that back. I think he was.
Fire's going to go.
I think he was there.
Yeah. Fire's going to go north again.
Yeah. What's quite fun about the sort of tabletopia in some ways is it's because you're playing this kind of sandbox thing. It is it is like playing a physical game. So when you pick up things, you can drop things on top of stuff, and stuff gets flipped over, and things are underneath other things, and all this sort of stuff, which you don't tend to get in games where it's just AI controlled digital conversions of computer of games. Because obviously that doesn't happen. But in this, these are just physical objects, and we are at times we're grabbing things and they're falling over and all this sort of stuff, aren't they? But actually, I quite like it because I think it feels much more like an actual board game. Yeah.
Yes, very much so. Although we did discover the other day that you could, in fact, flip the entire table if you don't have it glued.
You have to lock down the board. Yeah, this board is locked to the table, so you can't flip the table or the board. But if you don't and you have the board unlocked, and when you do the setup, one of the things you do is lock certain elements in place if you want. And if you don't do that, literally the whole thing goes woof through the air. So maybe we should have a table flip variant or something.
That would be awesome. Right, I have to burn one of my lovely greenhouses, and I think this is the only option I've got.
You're going to go north. Yeah. You have to do green. Yeah. That is a west move. We're going north, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. North. Yep. Yeah, indeed. Yep. Oh, actually, there's 2 options. There's here as well. Here or here.
Okay, in which case we look at the next one in line. So there's no yellows, no oranges, no whites. The next one will be blue. So we actually do have to do that one, don't we?
Yep, you do. So that'll destroy those houses, and also the little counter goes.
Yeah. Bit of a vandal with resources this time. Was good at picking them up last time. Okay, so that's the fire randomly. And let's see where these chaps have decided to be tourists today. It's just on a pub crawl, isn't it?
It's all over the place.
Aldgate. So that's up here. How far? It's kind of any of these guys are more or less equidistant, aren't they? Hang on a second. So 1, 2. So he'll move, and he's going to go north as well. So he'll go north.
North in such a way to go. It'll probably go here because there's a crisscross there. There's a 4-way arrow, and this has got the most houses.
Most houses, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. They're both equidistant. So let's.
So he's actually 3 away. This one. That one's 3 away, isn't he? 1, 2. There's a crisscross arrow there, so 4.
Yeah, so he'll go.
He'll go into the one with the most houses first. So he'll probably go into the greenhouse because that's a.
Got it.
That's right.
Lovely.
Right, so my go. Okay, then what we got? There's a tiddlywink up there. I'll put a purple house. Don't want to do that. We must have. That fire moved into Moorgate on non-player turn, did it?
Yes.
Yeah, so that should be there somewhere. Okay, well actually I'm going to move. Oh, I can't. I haven't got a north move here. I was looking at that thing, that tiddlywink thing, that token, and eagerly, but I can't have that. Don't want to go that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go west here. Oh, there's the discard of that.
It's tricky when all your firefighters end up on, like, locked down on one fire out of multiples, and it just goes sideways really quickly.
Right. That was that. So then it's my move. Where am I? All the way over here. So I'm going to drop that into there for 1.
Yep.
And then immediately put it out for 2.
Yep.
Oh, hello, what have I done there? I just don't want to draw it into my hand. Let's do that. And then I'll go. I'll do 3 because I'll do something about that before 3 and then 4. Oh, I'm just moving your guy. You there? It should be a blue that I moved.
That's right.
Yep, there he is.
Yep.
Right, then I draw. Yep, I need to draw a card.
Draw a card.
And then it's a non-player turn. We're going south.
Okay.
Purple. Oh dear.
Right.
What have we got? Well, there's a purple, some pawls.
These guys down into here.
Yeah, and unfortunately there's small, so we need to do a tie break. So we've got purple then green, or we've got purple and other colours. The next choice is green, however. Yeah, purple then green. So it'll go into this space here, won't it? It's still all connected to Pudding Lane. Yep. So we take the fire from Pudding Lane. There's about 14 cones in the bag, so if we run out of Pudding Lane, what I'll do is I'll take a 4 and just pop those into Pudding Lane. There we are. Right, so it's a purple and a green.
Yep.
And we get an extra cone in there because there were 2 houses there.
Yes.
Right, that was the non-player turn. Non-player turn. Firefighters, Baynard's Castle down here on the river. Yep. Okay, we've got 3 of them. I think this guy certainly is going to be the closest. This one or that one. Let's see. 1. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or so. That's one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think it's more than that. So it's going to be this one and that one. Okay, I know. And we're going south. Most houses. That's easy for that one. This guy, there aren't any houses. So he was in there, isn't he? So he's just player choice in that case. So it's your go.
Okay. So I think that the fire is going to go south again. And so
Have you got 5 fire cards?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes.
Okay, so work out what's going on there.
Is that working?
Yeah, no, it seems to be 2 things. I'm trying to work. Maybe I'll check that fire stat later. Just trying to wonder because I've got 5 as well.
And I'm going to go from there and then move it south into here. So from there into this one. Can I do that, or do I have to with most houses?
No, you do. It's a player turn. It's your choice.
Okay. So get rid of an orange, and then yay, stand him up.
That is odd. What's happened there?
Going to move him. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and draw a card. I've got 5 so far.
So did
I've drawn a card already.
you draw one? Have you got, so you got 5 already? You draw it earlier on or something?
Yeah, I think I might have done. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that makes sense. I think because you've done 2 fire intensifiers, haven't you? Yeah. So that's what happened. You must have drawn it earlier. I was getting confused by the cards that are left.
no,
There should be 2 at this point. If you got 5, that's right. So that one is the non-player turn. Yep.
that one is flipped, and it's going to go north.
Yep.
And it is going to go north and attack some purples.
Yep.
Ooh, what have we got? So that one's easy there, isn't it?
Go north for purples. Yep, that's a north. I think there's also a north here as well.
Yep.
So there are 2 ones. That'll be player's choice though.
That's
None of those. Yep. So yep.
So let's.
Hang on a moment. Isn't there here? No, it's St Paul's. If you look down at St Paul's.
Yep.
There's a north move into St Paul's.
Purple, and then it gets yellows.
So that'll be what it'll do.
Yeah. My dudes. Okay.
I've got a couple there as well.
Everybody's dead, Dave. Everybody's dead. Okay.
So we need to add 4 cones to St Paul's.
Yep. And gonna take 4, and then stick them onto St Paul's.
There they go. Oops, that's fine. And then I'll sort him out.
Yeah, I'll just throw him around the board. You sort him out.
You do the firefighter thing.
Yeah, that one. That flips over, and that's going from Shoreditch, which is up the top. So who's close?
Yeah, so closest to Shoreditch. Well, there's a guy in the artillery grounds, and it's these 2 here, isn't it? And we're going north. Well, that one can go north directly into artillery grounds like that.
Yeah.
This guy can go into either of those 2, so it's your choice. Yep.
Pop them up into there.
Right.
Okay.
So my go. We're almost at the end of the game actually. So what we're going at? Let's have a look. Oh, it all got a bit devastating quickly then.
Looks like the fire is splitters,
Go
west side.
Well, we'll go to west. I'll go to west. We shall go west.
Nice.
Into I was going to crisscross, so you can go to there. It's green, but also white, but also the little what do you call it there?
You get a resource, which is
I'll
good.
Get one of those things. We need to add another. Oh, hello, what have I done there? I've dropped it on the board. Let's just go full screen it.
Yeah.
There we are. Right. So we need to add another cone because it's a 2-house situation.
Yep.
Right. Now it's my turn. Let me just think about something. I went west then, didn't I? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll play this token, which is a double fire move one. So we'll go again into there.
Oof. Ouch.
And then I will do my turn. So, rats. Okay, I'll book that one up. Where am I over here?
No, you didn't mess him up. I moved him out because I bribed him clearly with gin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was looking at sort of over. I'm trying to protect and things, and just trying to work out what. Okay, it's not really particularly necessary. Right. So I'm going to. I should have taken the fire cone from here because there's like 2 guys there, isn't there? But I can't do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to. I'll move. I'm green and you're green, aren't you? I'm purple and blue. And the purple guy's over here. All right, okay, that's possible. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And then take that one for 4.
Yep.
And then draw a card, which reveals the last fire intensifier of the game. In the situation where if we ever run out of cones, the rule book basically says that each player puts back in a sort of equal number of fire cones into the stock, as it were.
Yes.
The 2-player game, because there's a bit less firefighting going on, we do tend to get towards the end of things getting quite low on on fire cones, but occasionally you have to put the odd one back in. But relatively uncommon. Right, so that's that done. Then we do. So there are 2 cards left in this deck now. These are only going to be used for the firefighters to do their final turns of the game. So
Gotcha.
there's going to be a firefighter turn, then you'll do
Yep.
your last turn, then there'll be another
Yes.
firefighter turn, and then I'll do my last turn. So we don't draw cards at the end of our turn for this last
Gotcha.
phase. Okay, we're going west to burn yellow.
Eesh.
Can we burn yellow? We can here.
Yep.
And we can here,
here,
but that's a two thing. So what you do is you do the most yellows, then you work your way down the cycle, and obviously it's going to get to a purple house eventually. So
Yep.
I'll take it from. I'm just going to take the remaining one from here, which is like that.
Yep.
Yep. And that one goes in, and then we take the purple one away. That destroys that.
Yep.
But then there we are going to have to put a thing back on. And I'll put that onto the stack. And then firefighting going on. So Guildhall, the 2 nearest Guildhall is this one, and this one here maybe 1, 2, 3, as opposed to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. So these 2 guys are going to go west. They'll obviously jump straight into Guildhall. This one has a choice. No, it doesn't. It's there or there, isn't it? So we'll go into there, and that is that done. So now it's your final turn of the game.
Cool.
Now we're going to need to, in order to expand the fire,
Going to need to put tokens back in.
if you want to move from Pudding, from Pudding Lane, then we would need to. We only need a couple. If we put one in each to begin with, and see, and then see where that goes. Right.
Groovy. So I'm going to leave the fire south, and I think it should hop down into here.
Yep.
And then take out. Oh, sorry, I keep moving the board. There we go. Do the purple and do the orange.
And you get the little tiddlywink thing.
I get the resource token.
So if you take that into your hand, I'll have the other cone on. And if it's a double fire move, this is your last turn, so this is your last chance to play it. If it's dynamite, then again now on your action phase would be when you'd play it. If it's a little bonus 1 point thing, you just keep that to the end of the game.
So I'm going to dynamite.
Right. So now dynamite has to be adjacent to the fire.
Yep.
And the firefighters have to be present. So these guys, the black discs, so they are actually the army. So the guys that go around blowing stuff up, like Finney.
Yes.
So basically, you can choose a location adjacent to the fire. You can move them first. It doesn't cost any points to do the detonating, but it does cost points to move them around. But for example, you can move that down to there and blow up a purple house.
Yeah.
If you wanted.
You can move them 1. Is that right?
Yeah, you can move them as you've got the 4 action points, so it's part of your action phase.
Gotcha.
But it doesn't cost any points to do the blowing up. So that's one you've spent so far, and you've still got 3 more points. Now it's whether you're in a position to score any points from that.
I don't think so.
I mean, you could have. Well, you're all the way over here, aren't you? That's the problem.
Yeah, no, too far away.
Yeah, so the one you might want to do is shove that onto a cone, to lock it up and make it more difficult for me to score off the final turn. So we do the last non-player turn.
Yep. So we flip this to find out where.
Yep.
So that's that one.
So we're going to be going west.
Going to be going west, and they are going to be looking at blue houses in the west. So that's this guy here.
Yes, I think any of the blues.
One.
There is. Is that one a crisscross there? There's actually here, isn't there?
Is that not 2 spaces though?
Well, no, because it's from it. There's a crisscross across there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means you can go down into there. So it takes it from Pudding Lane because that's a thing there.
Let's do that, and then that's the blue.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, there we are. All right, and then you got to fight the fire.
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
So then these guys closest to
artillery grounds, which is all the way up here. There is only one uncontained guy anyway. It's this one. He's
yeah,
going to move west, which means you'll do 2 moves to the west. He'll
so
go into there. Actually, he'll go. This is west. No, it's north. Actually, isn't it? Into Shoreditch. Yeah, you're right. So he'll go there, and then your choice of either of them two.
Let's do that one too.
Okay.
Cool.
And
Okay.
my final turn of the game. So we will go west to there, and we will take. Where am I? I'll take that one all the way from there through to there. It's a mistake I made last time.
Dang it.
I'll go into that one or that one.
Yeah.
And I'll take the tiddlywink in case it's of any value. Oops. Okay. And so I'll then do. Actually, we should. Normally we'd add an extra house cone on there, but then towards the final turn. So 1 to put that out.
Yep.
And then I could go 3. So 1. So 2, 3, 4, and then go boom.
Yep.
There with the dynamite.
And
that basically is the last. Oh, there we are. Should be the other way up, but never mind. It's the end of the game. Yeah. And then we score up from there. So I currently have. I lost roll exchange, but managed.
I lost horribly.
So 6 points for that, and then you add on your houses that are left. So you have those. We don't do a formal scoring, but basically it's you'd add together the green and the yellow, which would get you sort of to 28, 34. Yeah. Add in the these two, which are 36, and then any objectives you got left or 1 pointers.
Temple is the only one that survived, I think.
Yeah, so that'll be 36, 37, 38. And you got any 1 point coin tokens?
No. I was thoroughly trounced on this one.
I got Baynard's and Shoreditch, which is 6. In terms of houses, 38 there, and then the points obviously for the fire cones and the what's it. That would obviously be a win situation and a 1 point thing. But anyway, that's the idea.
Well played.
Okay then. Right, so we'll cut out of that now and
thank you.
okay. I'll just